Let's see if that worked. Nope, that's stream elements. Where's... I need YouTube chat to come through, pretty please. Where is my YouTube chat? That's no bueno. Why isn't it coming through? Let's refresh. Refresh. We know Twitch chat works. It's coming through on screen. Hi Susan. Hi Bonnie. Huh, that's weird. Alright, I just have to go grab the controller and then we are good to go. Cool. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. It was very quiet. Let's see if I can fix that. Ugh. Why is it so quiet? Right, hold on. Where's the volume on this sucker? Oh, that's much better. Okay, okay. Yeah, that's just so weird that YouTube chat isn't working properly on that end. There it is. That was so weird. Okay. Deborah, what is up? Would you guys rather watch me play Final Fantasy 16 or watch like the game itself? I'm curious. I wonder. Hold on.
What is it?
Nothing good, I'll wager.
Oh no, babe, you gotta turn off the fan. It's all TikTok can pick up is the fan. All right. Yeah, all they hear is. Sorry, TikTok. Well, it's still really bad. It's not so bad. Okay, let's play some Final Fantasy 16. Uh-oh, something bad's gonna happen. Oh no, they killed all the innocent peoples.
What
Ew.
happened here?
Imperials. You'll pay for this.
We gotta change our stuff. I got a new ability. Ignition. While in combat? I'm still in combat? Ugh, I probably have to finish this part. How we doing, guys? Greg?
Thought you could escape us, did you, Branded? You were born a slave, and you'll die one. Kill all the ducal dogs! Ducal dogs? They were innocent people.
How's it going, Sarah?
Get 'em, boy. Get 'em.
Paula, what's going on?
Get 'em. Over here. Get 'em, boy.
Norma. How's it going?
You know what? Stay down. Sick 'em, Toggle. Get 'em. Give them all you've got, boss. There, boy. Sick 'em, Toggle.
Get him, get him, get him, get him. What is up, Sir Lucci? You like Final Fantasy 16? I think it's pretty good. Hey, Scott, how's it going?
There, boy. Wait. You know what to do, boy. Get 'em. To the sword. You know what to do, boy. Get 'em, boy. Don't let them get away.
Oops. Days, Brenna, how's it going?
All must burn. The bearers and those who sheltered them. By Empress Annibella's command.
Why is she the worst?
My mother ordered this.
Oh, dang.
I know. You can wait. Get 'em, boy. Sick 'em, Toggle.
How we doing, chat? Oh, I should be paying more attention. Oh my god.
Sick 'em, Toggle.
Yank him down, tear him up. Abby, what's going on?
Better already.
Oh, that was a close one.
Sick 'em, Toggle. Get 'em.
Angle. How's it going?
There's a good boy. Sick 'em, Toggle. You know what to do. Sick 'em, Toggle. You know what to do, boy. Give them all you've got.
How we doing, chat?
Sick 'em,
Cost Cobb Jedi. How's it going? Wow, I was stuck. I am stuck. There we go.
Sick 'em, Toggle.
Got him. Truth. What is going on, Truth? Okay. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. Just testing out my microphone on my desktop.
All of these people did
Oh no, not Hannah.
better than my mother.
Why is Annabella just the worst? What now? Oh.
Too late. Gav.
Too late.
Clive.
Womp. Splomp.
Acting on the orders of the Duchess, eh? We knew East Pool was harbouring bearers. Thought they were safe enough hidden up here, but someone must have let slip. If they'd have only come to us sooner, none of this would have had to happen. Fuck!
What's up, boys? What's up, Bisky?
The way Father embraced them when the other nations spat on them as slaves. The way an accident of birth gave them a power that others lacked.
These guys are always covered in blood.
They meant no harm. They just wanted to be free.
This world judges that a crime punishable by death. Which is why we're going to change it.
I'm doing good. You?
We want to
Pretty
help.
good. Pretty good.
Thought you'd got your own stuff to be getting on with.
But it can wait.
No work tomorrow.
In that case, we
Relax
should
and play
advertise
video
seeking a change of
games.
heart.
Where's my book?
We're always on it yet to join us.
All
I
right.
wrote a book.
And we'd best be quick. Last
What's your
I heard, we
question?
were planning
Oh
another
God,
excursion.
don't do it. Don't do it. I swear to God. I swear to God. Ask your question.
Can I leave yous lot to take care of things here?
Of course. We'll make sure they get a proper burial.
Is it concerning if I sleep for like more than 16 hours a day? I'd talk to your doctor about that. I thought you were going to say something else.
When you're ready then.
I was about to get real upset. Stats 22, Nate. What's going on? Who dat? Suspicious character. I don't remember this guy at all.
Lord Kupka's message for your leader. If only he knew where to send it.
So maybe it's okay because sometimes this happens to me a week or two every year. Oh yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting. I'd talk to a doctor about it. If it's only a week or two a year, I'm curious what they would have to say. I think it may be that I am fighting sickness. Interesting. It feels like my body got hit by a truck. Huh. Seasonal. Maybe you got like seasonal depression. Could yeah, that's all that's coming to mind. Or I think you'd know if you had the flu.
We can keep running, or we can walk through this door.
Do the thing. Well, I have no symptoms, lol. Well, there you go.
This place is getting more crowded by the day.
Tell myself the bustle's a blessing. There'll be time enough for quiet contemplation when I'm dead.
Riles, what's going on?
So, did you find the answer?
No offense, but my doctor once told me that it was normal.
I still
Why would I be offended? It might, yeah, it might very well be normal. For some people, yeah.
Whatever it is I've been given. But there is one thing I can say for certain. I am a dominant. Ifrit. And there is nothing I can do to change that.
Mm-hmm.
It is a
Do you
burden
like,
I
I mean, it's not great because I have exams, but lol, oof, bummers.
Spoken
Do you like Final Fantasy 16?
Forgiveness and in turn salvation can only begin with acceptance. It's a path we all must walk, no matter how colourful our histories.
Sid, you once told me that you wanted to build a place where people could die on their own terms.
You like Resident Evil.
I
You like
believe
my
about
wife.
that.
She loves Resident Evil.
Why not a place where people can live on their own
I wrote a
terms?
book called OREGONIA and the Legend of the Mies, if you're into that sort of thing. Boom, check it out. I got a TikTok live set up right over here. What's up? Check it out. My book, OREGONIA and the Legend of the Mies. Maybe tomorrow we'll do a live book reading. Don't mind the not for resale but thing. That won't be there when you buy it. All right. Love you, boo. I have a question. What would you do? Where's the cap?
What are you talking about?
There's no cap on it.
Right, nobody's not contaminated.
You know, like that's what you're worried about. You're silly. Here you go. Be careful with it. I'm positive, Taylor. You like my flag in the background? Thank you, thank you. I have a question. What would you do if you were forced to apply to get a master's because your parents forced you to, and you got accepted into 2 universities, but your parents are angry because you didn't choose the one they wanted, so they don't want you to get a master's anymore? That's silly and lame. I'd if you're not financially tied to them, might tell them to fuck off. It's your life. You do what you want. If you have the means to get the master's you want at the school you want, who cares what they think? That's lame. Yeah. Trans rights.
I knew. So obsessed with
What
death.
would you do if you
I never
are
stopped
21
to
and
consider.
financially tied to them? Ugh. Look, don't get yourself thrown out or whatever. Just
Hey, babe, try to find the cap to this or put something over it too.
sure. You're crazy by the way.
I'm not crazy.
Yeah, that is
Well, I don't want it to spill for one.
for yeah. But you're contaminated. You're so fun.
Giant contaminator.
God, if you're financially tied to them, no offense, but my brother told me to grow up. And why do you keep saying no offense? Like, no offense to your brother, no offense to me. Like, I don't give a shit. My brother told me to grow up and just deal with it myself, but I am sad. I don't know, lol. Hold on. This camera is good quality, but it's kind of I might have to mess with the color settings a bit. Turn up the brightness or something. It's a little washed out. I just got it today. Yeah, just like I am 21 and an adult, but I still feel like a kid. Also, I am autistic. Yay. Fellow autist here. I'm going through a phase in my life where I kind of thrown civility out the window. I've become quite jaded in the last few months for obvious reasons. But you know, do not throw yourself out with the bathwater. If don't it sucks when you're financially tied to people who don't understand you. But God, you're in college and you're getting a master's degree. It's insane that they even care. That you're at like a different school. I don't really know how to help you with that one. Yeah, you don't want to lose. You don't want to get thrown out. You don't want to make yourself like financially scarce. But I think you just have to talk to them and just say like, hey, this is what I'm doing. Well, they are now allowing me to go to the university because my uncle and brother forced them to say yes, but they are kind of pissed at me. Whatever works, man. Whatever works. Just let them be pissed. They're allowed to be pissed. You might not want them to be pissed, but fuck them. They're being irrational. Background blur. That's kind of cool. We need something to help with the color. Enhance image renders. Let's try this. Compressor, expander, gain, noise. It doesn't help that I'm in the dark. I'll have to. Contrast literally does nothing. What's up with that? Well, now they're allowing. Do I really want to spend 2 years at home with them every day being pissed at me? If it's just 2 years, I say you just gotta suck it up. I've had crummy in-laws and family and stuff, and they're probably not gonna change. Sometimes, yeah, you might just have to suck it up and live with them for 2 years, unfortunately. Not trying to be that one person, but my parents are kind of toxic. You can be that person. People are toxic. So, they don't. A lot of people don't even know they're toxic. I know so many people in my life who are like really good, well-meaning people who are also toxic as fuck. Call them out. I mean, don't be afraid to call them out, when you're talking to friends or whatever. You don't have to call them out to their face because you don't want to get kicked out. Once you're independent, like if the conversation came up with like me and my dad, I'd be like, Dad, you're brainwashed and I love you, but you're a fool. You're a fool. You got duped, and if the conversation came up, I'm not gonna go out of my way to be an asshole about it. You got duped. You got conned by a con man. You're in a cult, and you're raising my sister in a cult. Yeah, I have lots of family who are like super well-meaning and generally decent, good people, but they got some dumb beliefs and they do some really dumb stuff because of them. Called out my parents to their face, lol. I got really pissed, but my mom said I was, one, ungrateful. They're always going to say you're ungrateful. Because they think doing stuff for you as a parent is the same as like being a good parent. You might be like a good provider, but being a good parent, being a good mom means being kind and understanding and patient and yeah, kindness is gay. Like I know parents who think because like I raised you and I give you rides and I do all this stuff for you, they think that means that they are entitled to your cooperation and
They think that you owe them something.
yeah, that, like you owe them. You can show them like I'm frustrated with my family, but I'm still gonna help them and do stuff for them. Like if they need my help, I'm gonna help them.
Is that your narcissistic
despite, you know, despite being on bad terms with them. But I'm not going to like bend over and pretend like they're not dumb. Making things up or will understand when I get older. Yeah. Understanding when you get older, they're just what they that's just them like some people when they grow up they start to lose empathy. That's how like some younger people they become conservative. They forget what empathy is. Um or they just never really developed it very well in the first place.
They too deserve a choice. And I dare not turn a blind eye to their suffering any longer.
So, atonement then, is it?
That was the answer we found.
The only one we
Grateful for what? Like, thank you for yelling at me when I have panic attacks. So yeah, they think they think like providing for you is enough to be a good parent. I think providing for you makes them, you know, a good provider, but it doesn't automatically make them a good parent. And they may never understand that. I don't think most parents nowadays, especially conservative parents, are gonna understand that. They can't comprehend it because they feel owed. They're entitled. They think they own you in some regard, and they think that means that even as you grow up and get older, become an independent, functioning adult, that somehow means that you owe them. I think nobody is owed or entitled to anything. If you have like good parents, then I think you quote unquote owe them, like be there for them, help them with shit, be good kids to your parents who, if they are good parents to you, I think it's important to reciprocate that. What's up?
I found another bassinet that's for $99.
Nice.
It has good reviews.
My parents definitely did. Why don't you send it to me? They are both Trump supporters. I could have told you that. I knew they were. And my grandma is terrible to my mom. I'm not surprised she turned out that way. But why throw that burden onto your kid? Because they're insecure and they're projecting. They have all these like all these feelings and resentments and entitlements. Oh, my camera got
I sent it to you.
Thank you.
I know.
And
babe, it does say 109, but it says with a $10 coupon, so it's supposed to be 99.
okay. My camera lost focus. Probably because it's so dark in here.
Can you go check on Trevor real quick?
It's he's fine, right? Well, I am grateful to my parents. It's probably not. It's not covered up.
Why did you turn on the daylight and just turn on the light right there?
So I could see him. I knew he was going to be too tired to wake up. Definitely did. Well, I am grateful that my parents paid for my education and my electronics Wi-Fi, but I don't think I can't criticize them because... Exactly, you're still allowed to criticize them. But they think because they provide for you that you're... like...
What trouble are you looking to get yourself into now?
not...
The best guy.
What's the word?
We're going
I don't
to
know.
sneak
It's lame. Parents... My mom...
to
God, she's not like that. My mom and I have a really good relationship. My dad fucked up when he was younger and he wasn't great to us, so he doesn't ask for much and he's always there to help me. But he's still a fool. He's still a brainwashed fool. He's insecure and easily manipulated, emotionally attached to his beliefs. Right. I don't know, man. It's a really interesting situation. I am really jealous of my cousin who has like cool parents. She is lucky as fuck. You are really lucky to have a good relationship with your mom. Even one good relationship can be so great. Yeah, bro. And I feel like I'm really lucky because like my grandma is like really progressive. She's she's like 78 or 68, 78. I don't know. She's old as fuck. 77, thank you. And she's a Jehovah's Witness. So those are both red flags. Yet she's still super progressive and thinks like gay people should be allowed to get married and that trans people are valid. I'm so proud of my grandma because she's the only old person I know who's like super progressive and based, and like tries to keep up with the times, at least socially, you know.
Crazy. She goes to the doctor even though Jehovah's Witnesses don't believe in medicine.
They believe in medicine.
They don't believe in every like show or just anything that's
Yeah,
they don't believe in.
they can't take blood or whatever. It's stupid. Their religion is dumb. All religions are dumb. Yeah, I know. I'm sure. I know. You are. My cousin has 2 great parents, and I'm so happy for her, but also want to cry. Lol. What did I do to deserve my parents? Love you too. Good night. What did I do? I believe in God, so I believe He wrote out my story for me, so He meant to put me with parents. I don't think God likes me very much. Well, there's your problem. God isn't real, dude. Sorry to burst your bubble, but there's no. I mean. We can have this conversation. You seem like a really cool dude, young, inquisitive. I hate to. I'm not gonna be a dick about it, but I'd love like if you want to have that conversation, we can have that conversation. Maybe I can help you. Once you realize, I think God is real in my opinion. Sure. So the question is.
I can tell what God is real.
Kratos, the god of war, indeed. So, yeah, no, I'm not gonna be a dick. I am just confused on why he gave me my parents. What was the lesson? Let's see, you're asking the wrong question. Like, you're assuming God gave you those parents. You're assuming God is real. Now, I usually have a couple questions for people who believe in God, right? Because before I can have this conversation, we need to establish some rules, some standards. Like, do you believe in God? Yes or no? In your case, it's yes. Okay. Do you care if your beliefs are true? And I assume you're going to say yes, because most people care if their beliefs are true, or at least they think they do. So the next question would be, like, what's more important to you? If your beliefs are true, or if your beliefs make you happy? Unironically, when I ask people this question, most of them say happy. They actually care more if their beliefs make them happy than if they're true, which just boggles me. People are totally content living in a false reality if they think it'll make them happier. I'm just confused on honestly, I don't mind if my beliefs are not true. See, yeah. That's why, like, you're a cool guy. I'm glad you're in chat. But unless you actually care if your beliefs are true, we can't really have that conversation. The God conversation, that is. And, like, I can't really help you. If you think God is giving you shitty parents because of some, like, purpose, but you also don't care if that's true, I can't help you. I can help you in other ways. You know, we could talk or whatever, but... Sorry, Boo. Oh, he won't wake up. Oh, I guess. So... But yeah, you're living your life feeling like you're targeted by God, like he's poking you with a stick, and I feel bad for you, dude. I wish you didn't have to feel that way. For me, God saved me. My childhood was not the best, so knowing that someone loved me, well, see, there's a bit of a contradiction there. Did God save you and he loves you, or is he torturing you with bad parents and then making you feel bad because he gave your cousin good parents and you bad parents? Is God helping you, or is he torturing you? Like, and like you said, you don't really care if it's true or not, but if you did care, you might ask yourself, like, why do I have this contradiction? Which is true? Did he save me, or is he torturing me? I thought God loved me as a child, but now I'm having doubts. Well, ask him.
I didn't say that. I made a promise and I intend to.
Ask him.
But if we continue down this path, there's only one fate that awaits the rest.
Yeah. Because unless you're willing to, like, be skeptical and question your beliefs, I can't help you, dude. You can just ask yourself, like, why would God do this?
On their own terms, anyway.
How can God...
Sort of defeats the purpose.
See, it's hard for me to contemplate these questions sometimes because
If we have
I don't
to
believe.
the world crashing down,
I'm coming from the perspective of a non-believer. I can see some of this stuff from outside the box, but I don't feel like God is torturing me, like, because I genuinely don't believe he's real. I thought, okay, but if it wasn't God who gave me... See, you're asking the wrong question again. Like, you're asking who. How do you know it's a who? That's a big assumption. Thinking it was a chance and I was unlucky is not helpful either. Who says it has to be helpful? The truth, coming to the truth, or, you know, at least avoiding things that are not true, it's not really meant to be helpful or unhelpful. It's just supposed to give you perspective. With a proper perspective and a proper hold on reality, gives you a better foothold, a better stepping stone to coming up with, you know, finding the real answers. Because if you're starting with your God beliefs, you're starting from behind the starting line, way behind the starting line. To really finding the answers to these things. And hold on, thinking it was a chance, but then how am I supposed to make sense of my parents? Well, you may never be able to make sense of your parents, for one, and for two, to make sense of your parents, that's a tough question, because I'm still trying to make sense of my dad. What I've noticed about people in recent months is that I've had to actually figure out and, like, redefine what I think it means to be a good person and a bad person. And my conclusion is that most people are, like, neutral. They're like, because I don't think you can support a fascist and necessarily be a good person, but because you might support a fascist and think it's actually a good thing, which a lot of them do. They all, you know, like, I use Trump, and I use Trump just because it's a really easy example for people to understand. How do I justify the fact that my cousin got great parents and I didn't? Complicated. A lot of it, we are products of our environment. So her parents could have been in an environment, it could, whether good or bad, because, like, I grew up in a bad environment. Hold on, Bisky, I gotta mute for a sec. Sorry, I'm back. So yeah, we're all products of our environments. Because if if you believe in God, you can just say God did it. But that doesn't that's a complete non-answer, and it's not helpful in any way. But if you come at it from a perspective where things just happen and people are all products of their environment, things will make a lot more sense. I didn't grow up in a good environment, but I had a decent mom who grew up into a decent mom. She wasn't always a great mom. And we're all products of our environment, but then there's still our brain chemistry. So like we are products of our environment, but our brain chemistry and who we are is affected differently by those certain environmental factors. Being autistic, my environment had a different effect on me than it had on my brothers. My brothers, they had their issues. They had pride and insecurities. I also had like insecurities, but pride wasn't really one of them. I realized at some point pride just gets you into trouble. And maybe it's because I saw how it affected my brothers, and I'm like, who cares? Why do you guys care? It's about being secure with yourself. Because once you're secure in yourself and your own masculinity or lack of masculinity, you don't have to be masculine. You can kind of just define your masculinity yourself. Once you become secure in yourself and your masculinity, it's like when people try to call you out on it, you don't care, because as long as you know who you are and what you're about, who cares what other people say? My uncle grew up in the same environment as my mom and ended up being very caring. I don't want it to seem like my parents are awful, but compared to my parents in my extended family, I don't know. I guess I am just pissed because it's just not fair. My parents didn't let me have the childhood every child deserves, and I lost that, and I'm never getting it back. I am not a man, lol. I got to say I am a girl. Oh, okay. I was using masculinity as an example because I was bringing up my brothers, and their masculinity, and was kind of a big deal for them. My brother is like that too. He is kind of uncaring and cold, in my opinion. I'm guessing you're young. I'm guessing he's kind of young. We're going through this sort of... Men are so interesting because even when I was younger, I still cared. I cared a lot. But as we grow older, as we grow older, we either lose our empathy or our empathy grows. See, like my dad, he cries during movies, but he thinks like Mexicans, like immigrants, don't deserve the same rights. So like there's this weird dichotomy that I don't like, but he's inconsistent in his beliefs. I try to be consistent in mine. I can care about the plight of the immigrant while also understanding like the cartels are a dangerous threat to everyone, and cry at movies more so than I have ever have. I feel like my empathy has grown to a point where it is a problem. Send help. Yeah, there's this new thing right now called toxic empathy, and it was made up by the far right to get you to feel bad about caring about people. Oh, you know what? It's probably that filter that I have on, because it's so dark in here that my filter can't figure out the difference. Nope, just kidding. There we go. OMG, I talked to this one political streamer named Pen Tulip TV, and he told me that my empathy is fake. That's weird. I wonder what the context was, but no, that's lame. That's stupid. People care about things, but people are also tricked into caring about things that they shouldn't care about, like trans people in sports or trans bathroom shit. And that empathy is not helpful in regards to politics because I want trans people to be allowed to be trans. Right. So our economic and political system currently is built around a lack of empathy. Like, if you want to be a capitalist, empathy will hold you back from being a successful capitalist. That's why we need to change the political system and change our economic system to allow for empathy. Because, like, attaining capital and money, those should be second to just making the world a better place. Facts. It's like Mr. Beast, sort of. Mr. Beast is he manufactures like kindness. He has this veneer of like using his money. Like, he uses his money to help people, sure, but he's making more money spending that money. It's all in the end, it's all just to make money. There's a lot of like companies right now so they were doing like they were being progressive. It's called rainbow capitalism. There's this thin veneer of progressivism. Like, if you've ever watched The Owl House, it's a pretty progressive show. There's gay characters, trans characters, like a very diverse show. Disney doesn't really care. They're just letting these showrunners make this cool progressive show because they think it'll make them money. But now that the tide is turning and we're becoming more conservative as a country and we're becoming more transphobic and more racist, rainbow capitalism is going to start to die down. It already has been. So we're probably going to see, like, maybe even in the course of the next few years, we're going to see a way, like, not a wave of outright bigotry or transphobia, but we're going to be seeing less representation. I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. Exactly. I thought he was a good person, but he is actually very insecure and materialistic. I used to love that guy, but when I learned from him that he always seeks external validation because the abuse he suffered as a kid, he will never get enough. Yeah, money fucks up your brain, dude. It wrecks you. Like, I think, like, Elon and Mr. Beast and all these guys, they might have been like normal people at some point. Maybe not Elon, because he was raised rich in apartheid Africa, and his family, like, they profited off apartheid Africa, and I think they were like openly racist, or at least his grandparents were, or something. I have to look that up. I've always wanted to be a YouTuber like Mr. Beast, but I am so confused now. Lol. Well, one of my biggest regrets as a content creator, which I'm hardly a content creator nowadays, is that I didn't start sooner. Like, I'm 32. I started this when I was like in my mid 20s, like 20, 26, 27, something like that. I wish I had started 5 years earlier. Like, just forked up the cash, got a good computer. Want to know something crazy? Trump apparently had empathy as a kid, but his dad shut it down. Not surprised. Not surprised. Kids can naturally have empathy. It's usually parents that shut that shit down.
I suppose that's everything.
Can I go on hunts yet?
Notify Gav.
Oh, you're the
I never had
new
empathy as a
guy,
kid.
aren't
I'm not gonna
you?
lie.
Oh,
Interesting.
service. Well, at the
I only
height of
developed
my
actual
service
empathy in high school.
Otto's put me. And there's not
Yeah,
anywhere.
dude, middle school is insane.
Come back soon, eh?
Middle schoolers. We go through these weird phases because kids are crazy, man. They either care or they don't care. Hold on. I'm gonna turn my camera over like this, and I am going to. How do I switch the camera? Flip camera. I don't want this mask thing. Whatever. We can have the mask thing. I only developed actual empathy in high school. Yeah. Because like in like middle school it's like cool to be uncaring. And then in high school you're allowed to care again, at least a little. People start to figure themselves out. How do I turn this off? It's in black and white mode. I don't need it in black and white mode right now. I was terrible in middle school, lol, but kinda miss a part of that version of me. I stood up against authority figures and didn't give up. Yeah, it's kind of hard. Or like you start to lose that spark and you get put down more and more, blah blah blah. And then you learn to be complacent. Like with me and my family, we just stopped talking about politics because, you know, I would get heated and passionate. But they would my dad would basically be on the verge of tears. He's kind of a I love my dad, but he's so fucking emotional.
Is everything all right?
And there's nothing wrong with like emotions, but like when you're like an insecure man child who thinks like, you know, who treats Trump like a god, those emotions don't help. They make it so much worse. I can't have a real fucking conversation with him because I don't know if he could ever be real with himself. I am emotional too sometimes. It's okay to be emotional. It's okay to be emotional. My aunt likes Trump too. Yeah, I mean, that's people suck. And it's just something you have to learn. It's something you have to learn, you know. People are dumb. They make mistakes. They get swindled and conned. And sometimes like we're all brought up in an environment and the culture changes, and sometimes it brings out the best in us and sometimes it brings out the worst in us. And a lot of people, it's bringing out the worst. If you think it's okay to vote for Trump, that is not the best version of yourself, and you need to work through some shit. It's funny. I can say things on here that if my family heard me say these things, they'd probably disown me. Honestly, like I'm scared because I feel like if my dad and I really got down to it, I think he'd pick Trump over me, and I just never see him again. And then he and my sister would get, you know, deeper and deeper into the cult. I need to tell that to the streamer guy I know. Clip it, because I already forgot what I said. I feel like there was something I wanted to do before I did the next mission. Oh well. Oh, hunts. Because we need to talk a lot about politics, and we yell at each other, but at the end we say I love you, and yeah, it's basically kind of weird actually. I wish I could talk to my dad about politics, but he gets so fucking upset. He just can't handle the fact that I disagree with him.
Can't all be as obedient as you, Gav.
Live will end in...
mischief.
Oh, they were gonna end my life. Julie,
Is this all of us?
hi. How do I take this stupid mask
Actually,
off?
Gav won't be coming.
Just the three of us then.
Drake said is the keystone of the Empire. Oriflam's in chaos, yes.
I'm streaming on TikTok right now,
An army through her gates.
and there's this stupid filter over my face,
Our chances of going unnoticed.
and I can't get it off. I don't know how to get it off.
And should that plan fail, well, we have our icons to fall back on.
Sid, I don't know if I can. If Reed still seems to come and go as he pleases.
Ordinarily, priming an icon comes naturally.
Rude.
But then, you are no ordinary dominance.
Well, he's still got the blessing of the Phoenix, doesn't he?
Facts. My mom is the same way. I have been able to convince my dad of some things, but my mom is a die-hard supporter. Yeah, man, it's... You know how you believe in God, and like you don't care if that belief is true or not?
Not to find out.
That's why your parents are fucked. That's why your mom is stuck. The same mentality you have towards your God, they have towards their unhinged conservative beliefs and support in Donald Trump. If they actually cared, if their beliefs were true, they would be easier to convince. Because if you care if your beliefs are true, you're going to care about facts and evidence. My dad doesn't care if his beliefs are true. So it's nearly impossible to get him out of that cult. I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm just trying to make those connections. Because I genuinely do not think my belief in God is doing any harm. I don't think it's doing any harm to you or to anybody else necessarily. I'm just saying... How do I phrase this? Because I don't think it necessarily harms people. Okay, I promise. But it does make it harder to be skeptical. Because if you can't be skeptical with your God belief, if you can't acknowledge that and be skeptical about it, it's going to be harder to be skeptical about other beliefs you have. And also it's making you ask questions that are keeping you from asking better questions that could actually help you. But I'll drop it because I don't want to. You seem nice. I don't want to be a dick. I've just been I've been doing this atheist stuff for a long time. I think I am very skeptical. But for me, believing in God is saving my mental health in a way because at least someone loves me. They may not feel like it, but your parents love you. There are people who love you. You don't need this God thing to love you when there are actual people in your life who love you. You can love yourself. Bro, my parents yelled at me over the phone because I chose one university over the other. That doesn't mean, in their own silly, stupid way, they love you. Okay? It may not be the most ideal version of love, but they love you.
I have to find him before.
I know. I am starting to wonder if narcissists can love.
Martha told me all about you. You look
That's a really good point. I think they can in their own way. It's just gonna revolve around them.
Thank you, Clive. His name's Norris.
You found him. You won't catch a bastard.
God damn it! I need to. I need to... When can I get my stupid bird? I want my bird. I want my bird, bird, bird. Give me my bird, bird, bird. How we doing, chat? I'm just checking TikTok. It's weird how many people join without ever saying anything. I find that odd. I can't believe I've only been streaming an hour. It feels like so much longer. My mom just sees me as an extension. Oh, you touched on something there. Always putting me down and saying I will amount to nothing because she knows that I have potential, but it sucks. So she is projecting. See, I have come to the realization in the last few years that I see my wife as an extension of myself, and because I'm so hard on myself, I'm harder on her than I am most people. And that's not fair to her. She doesn't deserve that. And that's something I had to come to terms with. And I just had to get the, off her fucking back about some stuff. She's gonna make her own choices. And I may not always agree with them, but I got to accept that. And people in other, in the older generation, they have that same problem, but they either can't see it or won't see it. Once she realizes that she sees you as an extension of herself, and then first you have to recognize the problem. The problem is that she sees you as an extension of herself. And then she has to come to terms with how she treats herself and how she views herself. And then she'll understand why she's so hard on you. But she may never get to that point. I know people who don't.
At least I know which way he went.
Facts. My mom told me she was embarrassed to have me as a daughter because I am autistic and that I wasn't very pretty or nice or even having a nice personality. That actually got me kind of emotional reading that. But she is very nice to my brother. Reading that actually made me want to cry. Well, I am afraid of having high expectations for my kid. I have a son, mind you. And I have a daughter on the way. Don't cry, it just sucks how some children are treated. Yeah. And everybody tells me I'm such a good dad and that I treat my son good and that I'm really attentive and stuff, but like I still feel bad because I'm still like I always feel like I could be doing more, and I'm always worried like, oh, I hope I'm not. 'Cause kids interpret, they will take little things when they're very young and it'll be in the back of their mind and it'll completely define them as a person. For me, I never want to think of myself as a good parent because then I know I am not reflecting on my parenting. Interesting. I just tried to do better than my parents did. And they did what they could for me, but in terms of being like attentive and understanding and patient, they weren't great at it. So they didn't set the bar very high. And my mom knows that. My dad knows that. They were providers. They were more providers than parents, and they weren't even great providers sometimes. For me, I never... yeah. I think you always have to question whether you're being a good parent. And then I was scared to have a son. I'll tell you that. Because it's hard because as a man, you wonder like what it means to be a man,
I drop that.
and to raise like a young boy into being a good man. That's a tough responsibility, and you worry if you're gonna do it right. I think even bad men want their sons to be good men, don't know how to do it, or worry if they're doing a bad job. I know a lot of little psycho kids, and I know a lot of really shitty men who create little psychopaths, and they think they're doing a great job. I hope to God I never lose that perspective on how it is like to be a kid and just want to be accepted and loved. I think about that all the time, because I think back to when I was a kid and just how there's a certain things my mom or dad would say in a certain way just really impacted me. Just like I could tell that they were annoyed with me in their voice, their tone of voice, and that really fucks up your confidence and your self-esteem. Like I don't want to do that to my kid. I want to let him know everything's okay. And that I'm not, I mean, if he's annoying, I got to try to tell him to his face, try to be upfront with my kid and say like, "Hey, son, just so you know, it's a little annoying. Some other people might even consider this annoying, and it's just like something to consider." And instead of just, cause so many parents just want to say like, "Stop, don't do that, stop." Nobody ever sat down and talked to me about like my behaviors or my feelings or my thoughts and tried to help me work through them. They never did that. I want to do that for my kid when he's old enough, but he's being a little psycho toddler. He throws his food and he smacks me. But despite that, people think he's a good kid, compared to a lot of kids his age. TW. One time I told my mom I didn't want to be alive anymore, and she told me to wait to unalive myself so she can get insurance, and my death would mean something to her. Please take your children's mental health seriously. The effort it takes to ask for help should be rewarded. Yikes. Let's play video games for a bit. Feed the doggo. This is Torgal. He's a good boy.
A bear without a brand. To have lived free for so many years.
Good Torgal. Give them a hug and tell them they are a good kid and that they ever need anything, you can come to them. Lol, sorry. No, it's all good. I actually really admire that you're willing to talk to me about this stuff. I don't get to have conversations with people about this type of material, and I actually thrive on it. I wish more streams were like this where we could talk about real shit. My mom was on something when I was in middle school. Like drugs. My mother also suffered from addiction. Both my parents did. Took my dad a lot longer to fix his shit though. But the problem with addicts is that they tend to find other ways to fill that vice. And my dad for him it was politics. He switched out drugs for politics. He switched out his addiction for a cult of personality. Not really, but why did she laugh at me when I said I wanted to unalive myself? Because people are nowadays, maybe not nowadays, but her generation's taught to not take that stuff seriously. The older generations, they never want to take the younger generations and their problems seriously. They think they had it so hard that you don't deserve to even acknowledge how hard you might have it. So they just laugh and scoff. Not really going. Oh.
That's enough.
Limit break. Will owe the whisks. I was 11. You probably didn't think a kid could be suicidal, but yes, they can be. Someone who's please. Yeah. You hear that, chat? Take it seriously. I know I've had feelings like that, especially when I was younger. But like when you're autistic, it's hard to comprehend other people's feelings, let alone your feelings. And it's so easy to feel alone and disconnected from other people, and that just makes you sad. And that can lead to those feelings. I'm not saying that it happens to all autistic people, and not every suicidal person's autistic, but you know what I mean. You and I can relate in that way, I think. God, I need to shave.
I'll be fucked if I'm...
There you are, Clive.
well branded.
Only what was...
Let me see that.
I wrote a note to my mom saying bye to her, and she just
Consider
laughed
that the
at
end of the
me.
matter, then.
I will never forget that moment. I only survived because of YouTube. Jesus fuck.
Used for bearer bones. He's dead. Let that be an end to it.
Uh,
I wish those whose job it was had done what they were supposed to do and spotted him.
I'm
sooner.
sorry.
Letting a
Thank
bearer
you,
go
Mom.
about without a brand.
Yeah,
It's not right, I tell ya.
my wife's relationship with her mom is kind of tumultuous at the moment. Has been for a few years, but it's really gotten bad. She can't get their shit together.
True, Clive. Is Norris really... He's alive. To the marshes. He's expecting you.
Excuse me, sorry.
Oh, you crafty. Thank you.
I wonder what the deal is with TikTok. TikTok's interesting. They will sort of flood you with views at the beginning, and then it stops. People are it's interesting. Very interesting. I gotta find something to talk about on TikTok. OMG, I wish my parents said sorry to me growing up too. Like they said, I don't have to apologize because I am the mom. Right. More entitlements. And see, they're probably like that because their parents were like that. It kind of just takes one bad generation to just fuck up the next. And that it's called what do they call it? Generational trauma. Many people in the black community suffer generational trauma. Theirs is more like material. But generational trauma can also appear in how we treat our family and not just the material conditions that they're in. I really want to break it. That's what it takes, man. It just takes that one generation to say, like, I don't want to be like my parents, or like I can do better. And that takes a lot of like emotional maturity, and a lot of people can't get there. It takes a long time, but I know my brother is not going to be the best dad. Maybe he could change. Maybe he can change. I think I am only where I'm at now because, God, I think because like stuff like YouTube, honestly. I think maybe not. I should give myself more credit. I think I should give myself more credit. I think it's partially to do with me, but my understanding of who I am and my beliefs come from watching a lot of YouTube. I feel like for me though, growing up in that abusive environment made me more empathetic. I feel like that can happen. Me personally, I watched a lot of people behave certain ways, and I've seen a lot of like ramifications because of certain people's actions. And I thought like, oh, well, I don't want that to happen to me. I better avoid doing drugs, or I better avoid doing this or that. But God, dude, I know some people, like I found good YouTubers who taught me how to be like skeptical, to question my beliefs, to challenge myself, to be better and not just assume that I'm right all the time. But then there are some people who fucking discover Ben Shapiro, and then it's like, oh, empathy is lame and stupid. And it's just like, it's cuck lib shit. And then they go down this rabbit hole, and then they're burnt. They're gone, dude. It's Jover. Once you go down that right wing pipeline, it's so hard to get out. Yes, we all should give ourselves more credit. This is the first time I cried in a while. Lol. Just writing down the fact that I wrote a note saying goodbye to my mom. I don't think I've ever realized how serious that situation was. Lol. Yeah. Your feelings are valid, certainly. But it does seem like a bit of a cry for help. Early signs, if nothing else.
So,
Your mom sucks.
meeting in Northreach.
Oh,
I'll
hello.
find Sid and Jill before this dame finds me.
How did the grocer know his...
YouTube, you're breaking my balls, man. Dude. What in the hell, YouTube? I usually have more people watching than this. Yeah. Maybe I should go back to playing Pokemon. People actually watched me play Pokemon. Well, I don't write the note anymore to tell my mom that anymore, but yes, it was such a cry for help. And then these are the parents to say they didn't see the signs. True. I can only theorize why people are like that. But I can never really know for sure. It sucks. If we could just understand where they're coming from. But sometimes the place they're coming from, it just is stupid and doesn't make any sense. Or it's totally irrational. It doesn't mean it's not completely invalid. I always have to remind myself that the problems I face are problems most Americans face. We all are suffering. A lot of us are suffering in the same ways. And a lot of us have the same problems. And a lot of us can even recognize problems. But because of the types of information we absorb, we come up with like the wrong conclusions to those problems and the wrong sources of those problems. And it has us have totally radically different beliefs. Harmful beliefs. I was in that pipeline during COVID and it sucked. Dude, COVID sucked in so many people, and I've come to this realization recently that because people can be really reasonable about stuff, but the way you can radicalize people to the far right is by capitalizing on things that happen to them personally. So COVID affected everybody. People are willing to tolerate a lot until it affects them personally, because people are fucking selfish. And they're like, ugh. Even I, like, when COVID started, I'll finish your comment in just a sec. Even when COVID started, I was pissed. Like, I wore my mask, but I was very reluctant, and I was annoyed, and I was pissed, and I was like, this is kind of overdoing it, and this is bullshit. Which is how so many Americans felt. And then the right wing said, this is total bullshit, this is irrational, they're being crazy, they're being authoritarian. And if you're not careful, you could get so easily swept up by that. If it wasn't for YouTube and watching debates, because the people who debated and said that, like, yeah, COVID regulations are actually, COVID's really bad, and we should be wearing masks and getting vaccinated. And then they showed the evidence, and they also took the time to debunk the anti-mask people and the anti-vax people. Dude, who knows, maybe I could have gotten radicalized if it wasn't for those debates. It's so easy to get sucked in. COVID, and it sucked. I loved Ben Shapiro. Ew, gross. And everyone like that. But then I went to university and met trans people, and it changed my life. That happens. People, yeah, you just need it's a matter of perspective. They were very kind for the first time in my life, and I felt like I was accepted even though I was autistic. Listen, I don't want to say my parents are the worst. People have gone through worse, but what the fuck, mom, lol. It capitalized on my loneliness, my desperation. I was so mad I never got a prom and grad, and I was losing my high school experience. It was a way for me to lash out and to get back at the world. Yeah.
A moment. I doubt you could afford even that much of my time. Branded.
My mistake.
No, mine. Upon reflection, you don't have the scent of a branded about you. The flowers. Otto always did know how to please me.
Huh.
More than Sid ever did anyway. Do you think you could please me, Clive?
I used to actually have a crush on Ben Shapiro. Weird times, yeah. My younger brother, he's a pretty progressive guy. He's kind of somewhere between, like, maybe liberal, progressive, and leftist or something. And like when he was really young, he almost got swept up by Ben Shapiro. But I think, see, sometimes because people have a hard time recognizing when they're being fucking lied to and bullshitted, and sometimes you just need another perspective to call them out. COVID screwed me up as a person. I think COVID screwed up. It radicalized so many people, and it just fucked up their brains, man. I'm not even joking. I still feel like I am 16. Yeah, it's rough. It's rough.
And so, I make it a point to do the same whenever possible. Which brings us here. To the
I like
obstacle
BTS though.
between you
What is BTS?
and whatever it is you seek in the holy capital.
Dude, can
I
TikTok?
fear the guards are not likely to let a masterless bearer pass unmolested, unless
They are a K-pop group. Oh, okay.
unless, of course, his master deign to appear.
Oh, Clive.
That will do nicely. But
Yeah, I haven't played Pokemon in a long time. Maybe I should play some Pokemon.
Wait, what?
Next stream. I think next stream I'll play some Pokemon. Maybe I'll do some shiny hunting.
you doing?
Tut tut. We cannot have people thinking I tolerate disobedience from my branded.
The men who gave me this are no more my masters than you are. But
My favorite song was when V from BTS talked about how he was going to change from being hurt as a child to being a successful one. It was kind of inspiring. Very cool.
Exactly what you want. Just play along.
Madame, back to the Vale already?
But of course, we must make ready to welcome you, my dear.
And who might this be?
Why, my new escort. The streets aren't safe for a girl, what with all the royalists about.
And then Jimin talked about his body issues.
Well, that
Yep,
rather depends
real
on
people, you know, got real
I'll
issues.
see you at sunset.
Oi, hold up.
Filth. And then Suga talked about his suicide. Jeez,
Another
got real
fucking
deep
brand.
lol.
Well, you're lucky you're with the dame.
Artists go through a lot.
That wasn't so bad.
wasn't so bad. They might have recognized me.
I was listening at like 13. Yep.
And even if they
Damn.
had, they wouldn't have done anything about it.
I'm getting
The
tired.
gentlemen of the garrison are some
Had a
of my
long
best
week.
customers. We have an arrangement, as do you and I. Now, if you'd care to follow me, we can speak more at the Vale.
Doesn't seem like I have much of a choice.
And if anyone requests her company,
Madame,
as do you, my...
Shall I have one of the girls draw a bath?
That won't be necessary.
That message was censored. I can't see it.
Clive, my darling,
The song
welcome.
Eats. I can barely hear it. My lady. Poop. It was just BTS Spring Day.
Thank you for
Oh,
seeing me through the
I
gates,
see. Okay.
my lady.
Well, that was the whole point. Whatever wound you so tight, I wonder. It's certainly not Sid's influence.
You, mentioned a favor. What is it you'd have me do? I don't want to keep my companions
Tatian.
waiting.
If you mean Sid and the girl, you needn't worry. Yes, Otto asked me to help. But to answer your question, I need you to find someone for me. One of my girls. Tatian has been gone for several days now, having left no word of explanation. And I began to fear the
Nice.
worst.
I feel as if I've spent my whole
We got
life
the
searching
seal.
for people. No, I can't say I'm any good at it.
Anyway, it is so late for me. Lol, I hope you have a good rest of stream. Thank you for talking to me. Things got real deep. Yeah, no problem, Bisky.
Enough of that.
Thank you for making... Usually,
Really enough to keep prying eyes from looking
Twitch
too
chat
closely at
is
my
almost
faces.
non-existent.
Faces.
Usually it's YouTube chat
Now,
that keeps me
I have
going.
matters to attend to at the
But I
Iron
really
Throne.
appreciate you
If you
tuning
find
in and
anything, ask
following
me
and all
about
that
it.
cool stuff. And I will see you in the next one. Peace.
I should probably start here.
Good night. No worries, lol. See you later. Peace.
you wear the dame's brooch.
Enough to have me look for one of your colleagues.
She's still missing it. Oh, if
You saw her before.
the day before she'd lost her comb, a gift from the dame. It wasn't anything fancy. You see, Tatian was an orphan, and she looked upon the dame as a mother, as do we all.
So she was upset.
And I didn't lend her my shoulder. But perhaps someone else did. Tatian shared
Unbelievable.
a room. Her chambermaid may have seen something. She's over there, sitting by the pond.
Thank you.
I want to test this emergency exit.
Let's see what her chambermaid can tell us then.
My shit's black and white. I gotta fix it. I don't need it to be black and white right now. Modes and routines. Permissions. Mobile data, battery storage. God, what's I forgot what this is, man. I forgot how this sleep. Snooze alarm. How to turn off the black and white mode? It's driving me crazy. Black and white mode is still on. Okay. Alright. Now I have to figure out how to get this stupid thing off. How we doing, chat? God, that's brutal. It's so brutal. Yes, interact. Hands, more. Mirror, microphone, pause. Support, content disclosure. Settings, hear your voice. Woof. How do I turn this off? Please, for the love of God. Somebody help me. Somebody help me. I can't get this. It went, oh, there it is. I can't take it off.
So you're the new escort the girls have been talking about. And you've already been sent off on an errand, eh? Poor boy. You'll be knackered before
This man from the garrison. A man from the garrison.
All right. Wish this wasn't so washed out. Wonder how to fix it. Settings. So, gonna go back to Pokemon for a little bit. Not sure though how I want to do it, because I'm not really into Pokemon right now. I could try to get the shiny mythicals. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna end the stream early, and I think I need to brainstorm, prepare thumbnails and stuff, come up with some stuff to talk about in my next stream, and try to make videos out of it. We'll see. We'll see. I made that top 10 Nintendo video. It got 300 views. Not a lot of people liked it. And I got no subscribers because of it. Regardless. We'll figure some stuff out. Peace.